Thank you so much, Jimmy.
Kareem, it's always good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. You look great.
I'm trying.
You were born and raised in New York City.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was doing a little research about your earlier days, and I read somewhere that you were friends with Billy Crystal.
Yes.
How did you guys become friends?
Well, you know, I went to high school here in Manhattan at Powell Memorial, and one of Billy's best friends was my classmate. And he always wanted me to come out and hang out in Long Beach, Long Island.
Yeah.
And it's too far from me. I lived at the other end of Manhattan. Finally, before we graduated, I went out there to visit Neil,
yeah.
Our mutual friend. So we went over to Billy's house, and his mother answers the door and says, you know, Billy's not here. You guys better come back in an hour or two. He's over with his friends doing something, and we couldn't find him. And but the funniest thing about that was Billy's mom, from that point on, said, "Oh, I've known Kareem longer than Billy has."
Technically, yeah, she's right. She technically knows. Yeah, she's right. She does. Was he funny?
He was always funny.
Yeah. Did he play basketball with him?
No, but we played a game of badminton. It's kind of tough on him because all I had to do was stand at the net and hold him.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get a rematch one day.
Maybe.
The NBA playoffs wrapped up a few nights ago. The Golden State Warriors beat the Boston Celtics to become the NBA champions. Steph Curry was just making three-pointers. That guy is just unbelievable. Never seen anything like that. When you were playing, were there people that shot like that?
Not like that, but you know, they were good three-point shooters. We thought at that time, but earlier on, you might get 10 three-point shots in a game. Now there's 10, 20 three-point shots in a quarter.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it seems like it's a free three-point shooting contest.
Yeah,
but, you know, people enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you know, they should. I am still the all-time leading scorer in the NBA, and I only made one three-point shot.
I mean, that's you know, just because that's not your thing.
No, but no. The coach says, look, you shoot the ball from in here.
Yeah.
If you come out here and shoot, you can come sit down with me.
But you only shot one three-point shot.
Just one.
One.
1986.
Yes.
And it was an accident. You know, I ran out to the corner and to get a rebound, and I was out there all alone. They didn't want to come guard me. I turned around and made the three-pointer.
We actually have found the footage. Here's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's first and only three-point shot of his career. Take a look.
Cooper misses from 18. Kareem hustles, gets it. Shoot a three-pointer, Kareem. It's three, and it goes! There's the first one of his life.
Come on, bud. That's how you do it.
2099.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be catching Steph Curry.
You're real close to Steph Curry. Yeah, you better watch out, Steph. Yeah, he's real close. The NBA has named an award after you. It is the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Social Justice Champion Award. Yeah. And every year, the award goes to a player that helps to drive equality for historically marginalized communities. You've said this before. You said, I can do more than stuff a ball through a hoop. The greatest asset is my mind. And what does that mean to you, the next generation following your lead off the court?
I think the NBA has done a great job of encouraging the players to do what they can to help the communities where they play. You know, we provide a lot of entertainment, but people need real help. So the fact that they've named this award after me is very gratifying to me. But what it does for the communities that these guys try to help, I mean, those are the things that lift us all. And
yeah, priceless. Yeah. It's amazing what you've done.
Yeah, thank you.
And we've talked about it. We've been on the show before. But Juneteenth was yesterday, and when it became a federal holiday last year, you said that you were more relieved than happy. Can you explain that?
Well, I think it's been too long. You know, it took too long before people started thinking about celebrating that nationwide.
Yeah.
It was only in the black community where it's been celebrated for many years. But I think that the things that make America great, we're always anxious to talk about it, but we can't talk about the things that are tough here in America. And if we don't talk about them, we can't ever change them. So as long as we can get to the point that we can talk about these things, we can make positive change, and that's what it should be all about.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. Yeah. On top of everything you do, you're also an award-winning writer. We've talked about this on the show when you come on. You get writing awards. You actually have more writing awards than you have NBA championships. But last year you started a Substack. Yeah. You write about everything. You write about political issues. You reviewed Top Gun. I thought it was interesting. And what's it like being your editor-in-chief?
Well, no, it's always it's tough when your ideas and your editor's ideas don't mesh. That's difficult. But I don't have that problem, and I can be Kareem, the sports commentator, Kareem, the political commentator. I can be Kareem, the ordinary journalist.
Restaurant reviewer.
Yeah, you name it. And I'm always down for a free meal. You know?
Me too. Count me in if you do it. I want to mention your charity, the Skyhook Foundation. I love this. I love what you do. Especially, I love helping kids. And you're doing something very, very cool with this artist named Charlie Palmer.
Charlie Palmer, yeah.
He created this portrait of you. Look at this. Yeah. That was amazing. So, there are 500 of you?
There's 500, and we're selling them. You can go to KareemAbdul-Jabbar.com if you want to buy one, and the proceeds go to the Skyhook Foundation to help keep us above water, and so that we don't drown. We take kids out into the forest, the Angeles National Forest, and they do STEM and STEAM programs out there.
Learn how to program, do everything, but also learn how to look at a tree.
How to look at a tree, water quality, soil quality, flora and fauna, and it helps the kids learn that the world is bigger than their little neighborhood in LA. A lot of them haven't ever been out of their neighborhoods, and they can see the Angeles National Forest from their neighborhood, but they've never been there.
See, that's
so
the best.
We're expanding their world and making it possible for them to find out what's out there in the world that they can hook on to that will give them a meaningful life.
I love that. Kareem, thank you for doing that. Thank you so much for being here. For more information on the Skyhook Foundation and Kareem's Substack, visit KareemAbdul-Jabbar.com. Kareem and I are doing something fun after the break. Stick around. Come on back.
Come on back.